You hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/inkdependence keeps this channel ad-free. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and this is the Pilot Custom Heritage 912. These are 3 of the 15 available nib sizes and styles in this collection, and Pilot was kind enough to send these to me to test out and to experiment with and show y'all how they all work. I have chosen the 3 finest nibs in the collection here to sort of highlight in this video. So here we're going to take a look at the PO nib, the extra fine, and the fine varieties of the Pilot Custom Heritage 912. If you'd like to see some of the other unique nibs and sizes and all that jazz, find those videos on the channel, as well as an overview of the 912 itself as a pen. So let's get into these finer nibs. The most unique of these, of course, is the PO nib, which has this nice downturn there at the nib tip. You'll find an entire video highlighting this nib and talking about why it's so fine and why it is turned down that way on the channel. Also, of course, the extra fine, which you can see has a very fine point, and then the fine, which is just a little bit bigger. So there will be some variation between these 3 nibs, of course, and it's time to take a look at these number 10 14 karat gold rhodium plated beauties. Okay, so this is my Mormon Mnemosyne paper that I've been using for these reviews. These have 5mm grids, and so it'll help us to see what sort of size we're dealing with on these nibs. So this is the Pilot PO nib. There we go. You can see here we got a little bit of a bloop, and that is because I had a little bit of a paper fiber stuck in the very tip of this nib, and that is a thing that can happen with these extremely fine nibs, is they will sometimes just pick up like a tiny little bit of paper fiber or a tiny hair or something just on the tip, and that will sometimes give you these little bloops, but I took care of that, and now we're good. Now this nib can write extremely small. Let's go ahead and put over here off to the side. We'll do some very small writing. The posting nib was developed, of course, so that you could write things for the post. And we're talking about postcards here mostly because they were much less expensive to send in Japan at the time, but they also gave you less space. So you want to write small so that you can put a bunch of information on a card. And also you want to be able to write in such a way that it doesn't just bleed or feather into that bad paper that they were using on those postcards. Now the extra fine nib is a bit wider. You can see there is a bit more line weight here in the extra fine than the PO, although it is subtle. Let's go ahead and do some real small writing. And you can write pretty small with this one. I'm not as confident getting as small as I am with the posting nib with the extra fine, but you can get pretty darn small. It does have a little bit more line weight, though. And then lastly, our fine nib. And this is the one that I would be most comfortable with of these 3 writing with on a regular basis, just because I don't usually write super small, but I do like how thin this can get, and it can be really nice for writing in things like journals or your planner or some such, where you have small boxes that you need to pack with information. And you do start to see that there is some limitation as to how fine you can get while still having letters that are distinct from one another. I think the PO nib definitely is able to get the finest. You are just writing with the very, very tip of this nib when you use the PO nib, and it does give you the ability to get super, super small. Yet, these are all very nice to write with, the posting, the extra fine, and the fine, even though they are very small and my hand is not usually used to using nibs that are this fine. I find that I can write with them comfortably, and that's a really nice kind of surprise, really. So check out these real fine nibs wherever you can get your hands on a Pilot Custom Heritage 912. Let me know what your favorite fine nibs are down there in the description, and or down there in the comments, and I will see y'all in another video soon. Peace out.